Welcome back to our channel, Sleuthing Sisters. My name is Katie.
And my name is Maggie.
And we're here today to bring you our review of Her Interactive's Nancy Drew murder mystery. Stay tuned for danger.
Ooh.
If you don't know how this goes, we do have our first video already out for the Secrets Can Kill Remastered. But yeah, we're just going to give our thoughts and feelings on our playthrough of Stay Tuned for Danger. So I think we'll first break in. I think we started with playability. I thought overall it was good. There are points in the game where I felt navigation, of course, in any point and click. But like I was like remembering we were in the TV studio and like you had to look under it, but you could only do it if you were at a certain point at that table. Or like there was a point where we were in the like prop room and we were opening that chest, but we thought we had to have a lock for it, but all you had to do was click open the lid. Like it was stuff like that where it was just playing that game, and the navigation can just be like a little dicey. You kind of got to need to know what you're doing.
I think it was better than Secrets Can Kill.
Agreed.
There was still some things that reminded me of it. For example, in the studio, there was that random package in the middle of the room, and you can only reach that package at a certain point. And like, also in the studio, when you're looking at the main set, right? You click on the couch, like on the right arm of the couch. You click all the way over there. Somehow, for some reason, it transports you to the tea set on the coffee table.
Like it's yeah.
And now,
so there were just things like that.
Well, and however, it was better at indication a little bit. So you mentioned, or no, you didn't mention this, sorry. I'm thinking about the treasure chest. I'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
My thoughts are getting ahead. I liked the different colors of the magnifying glass. So it was red for touching things and it was blue for moving. That was really nice. I also found myself, I could go 360 degrees and I could go to different parts from different points. I didn't have to go into the middle of the room to get back.
Right.
You know, I could go to one end of the room and go back to the main set. It was just that package, that weird package was just very random.
Yeah.
With the chest, you had to click a very particular spot. And it was at the very top of the screen. And I think I only thought about that just because my mouse went there. And it was just annoying to think about that. I think that maybe they should increase the range on clicking on stuff, but not so far that it's just like the couch, for example. That's too far of a radius. But with the treasure chest, they needed to widen the range a little bit.
Yeah, I just thought like there was some points where maybe the developers wanted you to be more intuitive about things. So like another instance I can think of is when you're in Lillian's office and you're looking around and there's that sheet under the clipboard. It was hard to click on it. Like you could see it, but you had to click in a very particular spot to even activate it. But you had to be also intuitive about where that spot was. So you're not spending all of your time doing the Nancy Drew, magnifying glass sweep on the whole screen. So like there was just those little points where I was like, man, I wish it was just a little bit more maneuverable. There were a little bit more options, like you were saying, your selection of where you could click.
Yeah.
Like I wish there was just a little bit more spacing for that. But overall, I thought the game was like it had a good playability factor. So yeah, I thought it was good.
The only thing I wish was it was more consistent. It was better than Secrets Can Kill for playability, but it still wasn't there. I think they were still working out kinks with it. I think that some coding could have been changed. Now I'm not at all. I don't mean to sound like I am a professional video game designer.
I'm not, for sure. I can barely turn on my computer.
But I mean, there are things that you could fix in that. Now, the limitations of the day could have been a hindrance, but it obviously was better than Secrets Can Kill, and that was remastered in 2010. So, That's
Agreed.
saying a lot, the fact that it was a
Yep.
little bit better in that regard. However, a big negative, I guess, that was worse than Secrets Can Kill was the audio.
Oh, I couldn't take it. I don't know why the fuzz was on that. I have no idea.
It sounded worse on my end. You know, we were recording this and, you know, Katie was recording and I was recording at the same time. And I compared our audio. It was amplified by at least like 70% on my end.
Welcome to New York, Nancy. I'm really glad you could come out here on such short notice.
And I was trying to lower the volume for the game on my end, but then it would lower everything else. And you couldn't hear anything. So then I had to use Katie's because it was a lot clearer. But there was still that kind of thing. You could hear it. And it wasn't just like in dead space. It wasn't just when you weren't doing anything. It was when you were talking to people. Yes, it was white noise. And it, in the middle of dialogue with Maddie, I'm sitting here trying to decipher what she's saying because of this audio. And it just, man, that was pretty bad. And I liked the music. With the bits I could hear after we kind of fixed it out, I liked the music. And, you know,
I sing a lot during that game. It's funny. I was watching our video and I was like, wow, this is more than I thought I could do in terms of being annoying. So sorry about that, guys.
there was only one point where there wasn't any noise, and it was Lillian's office.
And it was alarming.
I think
you felt like something was wrong.
I think at one point in the, I kept it in the video. Katie's asking if the mic went out.
So I can't hear your game anymore.
Why?
Wait, go. Oh, yep. Okay. Sorry. All of a sudden the sound stopped.
She's asking that because she doesn't hear me or hear any noise. And I was quiet. I'm a quiet player usually. I'm not used to playing with other people, I guess.
Or just talking.
Anyway, but I'm like, no, I'm here. It's just, and I went to I left the room and there was noise again and it was blaring, it's so strange because there wasn't as much fuzz even in Lillian's office. It was just cut out.
It was like a dead zone.
I think it's kind of ironic considering Lillian's character, but,
unintentionally intentional.
Sipping the tea is all I'm saying. The black pit. Anyway, so I thought, but that sound, man, that was pretty bad.
That to me, besides the ending, which we will get to, the sound was the most negative thing about the game, because I felt like compared to Secrets Can Kill and Secrets Can Kill Remastered, I thought the graphics were good. And this game came out in 1999. So, I mean, you already have a certain, quality that you're going to get out of a video game. But I thought the game did a nice job.
Oh, graphics-wise,
graphics-wise. Again, so much better than Secrets Can Kill, the original. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but I do remember,
insert picture here.
It was rough. And so they really did an upgrade when they made this game. You could tell the budget was bigger. So they were really trying to make it a smoother game, a better game, a playable game compared to Secrets Can Kill. So I thought they did a really nice job there.
Major improvements. I think that there are a lot of positives to this game. Speaking of a positive, I liked the story and the characters a lot.
Agreed. I completely agree.
I loved Maddie. I loved how you had
such an angel.
You had that person who was an angel, but they tried. Yeah. They tried a little bit, and I was like, no. Maddie ain't gonna do that. But they had the lipstick on the mirror, and you looked at the lipstick in Maddie's room, and that kind of stuff. And I liked that, and I liked how Lillian was actually, spoilers. Lillian was actually the one, poisoning him. But Rick was the original one who started the
I know,
letters.
he's the one that started all of it. And it's funny because I remember playing that game in this recent playthrough, and I had completely forgot about the Rick angle. And so when it came up, I'm like, the devious person he is. Like, that's something that makes complete sense for
but
an
his
actor.
character is like that. I mean, you know, you have two different kinds of actors. At least I hate to generalize like that, but in this game they are showing two different kinds of actors. They're showing the honest, hardworking one that is out to get the roles, Maddie, and then they're showing the publicity one, the one who's out to get all the fame in the world and is talking about moving on to bigger, better things because he's bigger and better than the show, and you know, dating his co-stars, and it's kind of a jumble of things. Now, again, I don't like to generalize.
Dating for
dating
publicity.
For publicity.
Yeah, not just dating his co-stars to date his co-stars.
Again, not generalizing. I don't think all actors are like that at all.
No. But in this game, it was a nice foil.
Yeah,
it was a nice foil to have.
It was contrasting.
Then, I also liked how they really embrace the dialogue to match the characters. Like, especially when you're talking to somebody like Lillian compared to like Millie Strathorn. So like Lillian was supposed to be that hard edge New Yorker director who is bitter towards Rick and unconsciously Maddie. Then you have like Millie Strathorn, who turns out like owns this company. I needed more explanation on that, by the way. Like, how is this woman running the prop room when she owns a product like a networking or founded it? Like, I'm just curious. Side note. But Millie, you know, had that really quirky dialogue, the really annoying voice. But she was, you knew that she was a kind soul. Like, you knew that she was just there because she loved that soap. So I liked that they were embracing the character nuances more in this game compared to Secrets Can Kill, where I felt everything was very generalized. Like, the characters really didn't have their own flavor.
I liked when you're comparing, because now we have a baseline, we can compare it to the first one. I liked the dimension of the characters in this one versus the first one. Now, there are age differences if you're looking at, you know, high school versus adulthood. You know, obviously you're going to think a little bit differently. I think the mystery was there for both, but I think that the people were just, the storyline and everything was just a little bit more fleshed out and developed, and they actually had reasoning. I didn't have to go back and repeat the same dialogue 20 times, which was nice too. And I think there was some enigma there. I liked how they also had, we didn't mention him, but the executive producer?
William Pappas.
I liked him too, because he was somebody you actually never saw.
But you talked to him on the phone.
And you had to talk to him. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. We didn't mention Dwayne. Dwayne was interesting. That's where the mystery went away just a little bit. Because like as soon as you talk to him and you mention Rick and everything and Maddie, like, you kind of just know at that point.
Yeah, I felt that way when it came to Secrets Can Kill. It was kind of like the motive of all of the other characters just wasn't enough.
Yeah.
So you knew that it had to be the last person, whether it be Daryl in Detective Beach, or in this case with Dwayne Powers. He was really the only one left that fit.
True.
And even at the very end, when you had Lillian call saying, you know, oh, I need to meet you at the studio, why would the killer call you? Like, so you were just like, you knew that it was a setup, but it was a setup by the killer, not by Lillian. So,
but they still...
And that's...
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. They still kind of did that thing though. Like, they had the typewriter in Maddie's prop room, and it spelled out like Rick needs to die or something, or I hate Rick. And they had like the poison chocolates, and I didn't expect. I think I mentioned in the playthrough that, you know, that was a possible thing, but like how Rick started the messages and how, you know, it was just kind of taken upon. And they still give you the option. They don't harp on it too much. They just give you these little hints. They still give you the option to choose a different, who you think is the villain in the end.
Agreed.
They do. Right. They, you know, they're like, it's Maddie for this reason, or it's Rick for this reason, or, you know, they still give you those options. Now, you kind of know who it is,
Well, especially after going through Dwayne's office.
Right.
I mean, that was there was so
the
much.
drawing of the bomb.
Drawing of the bomb, the bills, the letter, Maddie's picture in his wallet, like all of the. Oh, and then the ticket to Costa Rica or something.
Yeah.
So you just if you didn't figure it out by that point, you were blind.
Yeah, but they didn't shove it down your throat. They didn't shove down that you had all of these options. They just did little hints of it. And then they gave you the option to still choose somebody in the end.
Agree.
I like that. It was a lot more subtle. Even though it became a little bit more obvious, they still gave you that. And that was really nice.
I agree.
I liked that. I wish they had taken that approach in Secrets Can Kill. But you obviously need to learn.
But exactly. I was like, this was definitely a learning moment. I think one thing, too, when it comes to the overall story of the game, really love the story, really love the motives. I did not care for the there's a point in the game where the bomb was in Rick's room, and you had to have picked up the wire cutters from the prop room. If you did not pick up those wire cutters from the prop room before that moment, you were screwed. And so, for Maggie and I, at least we had Nancy Drew games under our belt, and we kind of knew, we can try to exploit the time factor of this game, because that's not in every Nancy Drew game, which, side note, I liked the time factor of this game. But for a player that maybe played this for the first time or, doesn't have a lot of Nancy Drew gaming experience, that game would have irked me so hard. And so that was something where I think they were trying to make a very linear playthrough, a linear story to drive action, to drive the mystery. But that was one of the few times where you were really screwed if you didn't, do that one part. So that's my negative comment.
Now I will say against that a little bit. You weren't necessarily too screwed. I don't know if we should be using that, because what they did was they planned a fail-safe. So, for example, you're talking about the bomb, right? So you could, after you die, after it blows up, you start outside Rick's dressing room.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just don't go in the room.
Yes.
And then you just won't progress further necessarily, but they provide that out. It's like you don't have to keep doing it over and over and over with no way to back out. It starts you at a point where you can do other things and then go back to that.
Right.
So it took us a while to figure out, how to get into the prop room and how to do this, but they provided that. It was kind of like an underpass or something, and then you could go back.
But then they didn't provide the going with the analogy. They didn't put it on the map.
Right. Yeah. It wasn't clear enough. I liked how they provided it, but like you said, we had experience and we figured something was up. Or we knew it was a screwdriver, we just didn't have it or anything. So it wasn't clear enough. I liked how they did it. They just should have made it a little bit more obvious. For example, we're just going to bring up the ending.
That's the biggest.
All right.
This is my number one.
So with the ending, spoiler alerts, Dwayne's the killer or the attempted murderer. So Dwayne is coming at you, and you have a certain time to open this door, and there's a keypad. And you have to put in the sequence of numbers or symbols.
It's symbols, and not even numbers.
Not numbers. Symbols before you could get it right. Now, we failed the first time. Okay, makes sense. We just got to figure out the code. Okay, it keeps putting you in that timed position, so you don't have really time to go back and find the code, because we were thinking you had to find the code, and the code kept resetting every single time. Now, I know we were playing in master mode. I could care less about that. They kept resetting the code every single time, and the time wasn't long enough to sort out the code. So you ended up, we died 15 times. And I think I left it all in there for your pleasure, for your viewing pleasure. But,
if you're a sadomasochist, it's for you.
but it was extremely aggravating, and there was no fail safe with that. There was nothing. I didn't end up being outside of the studio door like they did with the dressing room.
You had to
I was in that room, and I had to stay in that room.
Yeah.
So I remember, I think we were just in like the main menu screen or something, and we were just trying to discuss a game plan, but there honestly was no game plan. Because
you were stuck.
That also brings up another point. The puzzles. There was more...
Let's stick on the ending just for a second. Because I was trying, after we were playing it, I was trying to figure out, okay, I'm the developer of this game. Why am I going to create in Master Sleuth? Because to me, if you're in Master Sleuth, the timing should just be shorter and shorter and shorter, not necessarily adding this like random like solution kind of thing.
Yeah.
But they did this. They did the time. It was maybe 10, 15 seconds, and with the random patterns, with eight different symbols or 8 functions. I was really trying to figure out why a developer would do that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, let's say that I'm a developer and I'm going to test this. Like, I don't think they tested their own ending puzzle. And I really don't. I don't think they knew how hard it was going to be.
And at that point, it wasn't about skill. It was all about luck. The whole point of being in Master is to have more skill. You're a more skilled player, so you go in there. So I would expect a shorter timeline. Got it.
Yep.
I do not expect to base my entire game off of a matter of chance. Yeah. And we just got lucky, and I was just clicking fast enough.
Yeah, exactly.
And in the older games, it takes a register to even register the clicking. So
but that was besides the sound, that was probably my biggest negative. And then the sound, I think that the linear time, the linear mystery storytelling, a little bit of a negative, but not a ton.
It's not enough to make me mad.
Yeah, no. But the ending was definitely the one where I was like,
It's the ending in the audio for me.
Yeah, but now to move to just overall puzzles. I thought the puzzles were fine, but I think they had too much random chance where, so they had the ending, but then they had the wires in the bomb.
Oh yeah, that was random.
That was so random. There was nothing leading up to that point that told you what the colors were going to be. Only when you got to Dwayne's office, the only time that you were able to search Dwayne's office was at the very end of the game. Hence that linear timeline stuff.
And it had a drawing of the bomb.
Yeah, so to me, if I didn't, I think Interactive definitely learned. I think they were like, we're not going to do this whole probability thing at high adrenaline moments. So I think they definitely learned that lesson because it was not a good experience, especially something like the bomb. You want to, I think everybody out there is not going to clip wires if they don't know what wires to clip. I don't think you're just going in willy-nilly. Let's just clip the green wire. Let's just clip the red wire. That was something where those two parts. But I liked the other puzzles. I liked the one that was in the treasure chest. I liked the actor button thing. So there were quite a few puzzles in there, but this was another one too. I thought this is a lot more of a thinking game. Yeah, not as
many puzzles, but you did have to figure out to get into Dwayne's office. I had to keep hitting those buttons. That was clever. Well, it took a while, but it was clever to do that because it was like a hidden sort of puzzle. You had to think about it. How do I get into this office? And I can't use the card. Well, here's all these things, and somebody miraculously wanted a pizza, so they let me in.
Yeah, but that's the same too with the card. Thinking, okay, what do I have in my inventory right this minute to try to break into an office?
Yeah.
like, oh, let me try a card,
Yeah.
let me try the wire.
It's more
That type of
thinking
thinking.
puzzles.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
agree.
as much reading, like that was Secrets Can Kill. It was more thinking and just trying what would work.
Doing
and,
some deductive reasoning.
And they would provide you with the majority of things for you to be able to do that. Like in the prop room, they give you a big thing that's really obvious is this bucket of doorknobs. And they, like, right in the middle of that, you can click on it and take a doorknob with you. You don't know why you need it. Turns out you need it to get into the prop room so that you can, like, if you forgot the screwdriver, you could get that screwdriver. So that's kind of nice. They provided you the tools in some regards, in most regards, to solve those thinking puzzles. Yeah. So, but there's not a lot of physical puzzles.
Right. And I also liked, even though I think I was annoyed when we were doing it, I liked how they had some, like, not red herring things, but things that weren't so important to the end of the case. The one that element that sticks out is the recording. So when you get into the sound booth, you can, like, try to discover what whose voice is on that tape. And you and I, actually, funny enough, became very fixated on trying to figure that out. And you kind of wanted a solution. You wanted Nancy to say, "Oh yeah, it's this voice," but ultimately it really didn't matter, like, to the end of the game. And I kind of appreciate the not everything in her interactive game is important. Yeah. And not everything in a mystery is important. Sometimes you'll just have you'll have evidence that you can't do anything with. And so I think that was a nice way, like a nice nod to a mystery book versus a video game. Do I think it was a little tedious? Yeah, but I still appreciated what they were trying to do.
Right. I like the red herring aspect for sure. That's what's made us, like, in Secrets Can Kill, you can hear us be so paranoid about, like, the boiler room, for instance, because we're well, not that, but, like, there was only 2 places to click. And you're sitting there like, there's got to be more to this room, right? Yeah. And that's why. So, like, things like this, like, they put in those red herrings to get you off your game, make you paranoid a little bit. Yep. And then, the only red herring I didn't like was the package, the crate in the middle of the room. Like, that I couldn't even read. I couldn't
on the packing slip. Like, what was it supposed to say?
I couldn't even read the packing slip.
Like, let us know, people. Like,
but, like, the red herrings pertaining to the characters, the little red herrings, not like big, siren going
like
off.
Like typewriter note or the chocolate.
Really nice. Really nice.
Things that,
I didn't have to sit there and have a full conversation with the chocolate. With the chocolate seller. It was just like, that she bought chocolates and she also has castor oil. All right. Yep. Something like that. So that was really nice.
Yeah. Yeah. And then overall culprit reveal, I liked it a lot. Dwayne is one of my favorite culprits because I think he's right on the, you can see the psychotic break that this man experienced. He snapped. Yeah, so to me, and maybe that's like a sadistic element in myself, but I enjoy when it's not, this was a guy who was trying to be clever, trying to bank on Rick, because he knew that, Rick was sending these notes and trying to rile up publicity for the show so he could get on something better. Dwayne completely exploited that. But he didn't realize how far it would take him, and then he broke. Like, that is good. That is nice mystery writing. Yeah. Like, I totally appreciate that, and I think that they did a really nice job, especially the conversation at the end. Yeah. He just, like, you were just like, this guy is off his kilter.
I liked him as a character. I liked hearing the psychoticness. Yeah. Like, even though you kind of knew it was him and it took away that little mystery a little bit, he's an interesting villain, and I like that. I liked his writing for it. He had a very clear motive, and he was intelligent. He wasn't just dumb.
Yeah, he wasn't just your, like, I think Nancy Drew culprits, and we'll, when we play more, I think you'll see it more.
Yeah.
Tend to go for this like jealousy thing. Like
Mhm.
I think it's a very basic culprit motive, but this was one. This is one of them where they did it right,
It just works.
and they really did a lot of different elements to drive Dwayne's actions in this game.
I don't know if I would have accepted anything else besides jealousy.
I agree.
I think it adds a lot of, for him, it adds a lot of depth, even though like
it was more than just jealousy.
Yeah. Even though when you saw the footage and you could see like it was him, that was towards the very end of the game. And, he tried wearing a disguise and he created an alternate identity. And, he
what
did,
was his name?
Owen Spader.
Yeah.
He did all these things, and it wasn't exactly like, oh, I'm just gonna kill him just cause. It was nice.
And you could see, I mean, he was convinced. He was deep in his own psyche.
Yeah.
He was so disillusioned by his jealousy of Rick and by his want of Maddie that it drove him to do all of these things.
And fame in general. He wanted to be an actor in his own right. And, he ended up just being a talent agent. And he was saying how he was so successful, but he actually wasn't. And he went to his office and he found all that. And
the bills and stuff. So, so I liked him. And it was fun when I was playing this game in particular. I forgot how much I liked this villain compared to others.
Yeah.
Now I don't remember them all, but I do remember quite a few, and he is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
So it was really nice to play this game again to see that. So great. So
okay.
What is our
now? Wait a minute. So how long did it take us to solve number one? I believe
you have that information.
Just because I think it's something to note. Let's see. So
I'm gonna guess
you're gonna
3.5 hours. Only because the ending. Oh my God, like doing the ending of that game.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 3.5 to 4 if I'm rounding it. 3.5 to 4. I think it was a little bit longer than Secrets Can Kill.
We'll have a more accurate time for the next one.
We're gonna have a more accurate time. I'm gonna round it to 4, just for kicks.
And I think a lot of that time was the ending, and then waiting, in the waiting till we could break into the one-off.
Right, exactly. So it took us around 4 hours, and it's the check that off rating scale. So the rules, it's not really rules. It's just what would you rate it? 1 to 5 little check marks. And can you check this off yet? Can you check it off, or can't you check it off yet? If you're an Nancy fan, you will understand.
Nancy idioms. All
right, so
I think
you go
for
first.
me, I'm going to check it off the list. Definitely, I think people should play this game. Especially for interactive fans, and for a great villain and a fun story. I definitely would check it off. I'm gonna give it. Man, it's hard. I'm gonna give it 2.5. I think for me I think there are enough of the negative parts of the game, like the ending. Maybe not. There's some unpredictable or the randomness of some of the puzzles, not enough puzzles for me, and then the whole linear storyline thing. I think that gives it 2.5, but I still had fun, and I think that the characters and the side stories in this game are better than some other horror interactive games. So I'm gonna give it 2.5.
Okay, I'm gonna check it off, definitely. That, yes, you should play this game. It's important, and I think it's definitely an improvement. And if you don't want to start with Secrets Can Kill, start with this one. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, rating. I'm going to give it a 3.5.
Whoa.
Because
you're kinder than I am.
No, well, I enjoyed it a lot. And the only big hindrances for me was the audio, which could be cleaned up if it was remastered, and the ending puzzle, if we can even call it that. The linear storyline, not bad for me at all. I think it was fine. I think that they had fail safes. It wasn't super obvious, but at the same time, who wants it in like big green light, go here? You know, and I don't think that a storyline should have too many roots, if you will, if that's the word, too many branches. You know, it kind of needs to have a set core goal, and then you can go like, imagine like a line, and then you just had like circles to like go up, you know?
Nope, I think
something like that. So you could weave through the story. So for me, that's fine. I liked the story a lot, and I think that the characters were really cool too. So I'm gonna give it 3.5. You go there.
I might raise mine to 3. I think no, yeah. You know, I think I was being harsh. I'm gonna give it 3. I'm not gonna give it 3. No. That is too much. No. I will give it the 3 out of 5.
Okay. I think that they also
2.99.
And I like to think I like the thinking too. I think we're just coming high off of Secrets Can Kill and the amount of reading in that game. Yeah. Not that I hate reading.
I think you on a really good note, like I think you made a nice comment. I think this is definitely a game that deserves a good remaster.
Yeah.
Like I think it has all of the key elements to make it a really great Nancy Drew game.
Yeah.
It's just, I think the time of it being 1999, like you can only do so much.
You don't even need to necessarily change the graphics too much. You don't need to. You know, just increase the window size, make it fit that kind of platform. Don't give us a phone, and fix the audio.
And then add just a couple more puzzles. I think a couple more would do some real
like if there was more things in the chest or something, you know,
just all around. You know what I mean?
I know. But I'm so sorry.
Wow.
I'm so sorry.
Wow.
Anyway, adding a couple more puzzles might be good too, because I think we made that in the Secrets Can Kill critique. We said if they had added more puzzles, it gets to a point where it's just a new game. Either go full-fledged with that or stick to the original. I think that adding in more puzzles, a little bit more, would not hurt in this game. But it just depends. Like maybe something on because we were looking at the coffee table with the tea set. Maybe add something there. Maybe a puzzle in one of those books. It's a prop.
Maybe make the shipping container
have something with the shipping container.
Have some value. Like so I completely agree.
There were places to insert,
or like the script. There was that thing about the script and the colors, and I never figured out how that added to the game. I never got that. So maybe make that a little bit more clear.
There was something I liked where they hid in when you're in the lobby of the studio and you just click on a magazine, you see that all the magazines have the letters cut out.
Right. Yep, exactly. Yep.
Like how did they get away? They're in here? What the anyway, so that was really nice. But they could insert a little bit of more puzzles in here if they did a remaster. I think it deserves a remaster. I think it would be better if they just cleaned it up just a little bit. They don't need to go ham. They could just clean it up.
I agree.
And that's it.
Completely agree. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Great. So thank you all. Hope you enjoyed our review of Her Interactive's Nancy Drew Mystery. Stay tuned for danger, and make sure you stay tuned for our next review.
Hello.
Oh man, what's it called again? The third one! Message in a Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
Yes. Great. Perfect. I think that's it. We're professionals. We do this all the time. Thanks, guys.
Thank you all. Thanks for watching, guys. We hope to see you next time.
Again. Yeah, bye.
Bye.